Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/JustNoMil. In today's episode, MIL insists on apologizing to me almost 4 years later. How often is fair? My JustNoMil stole my money. I need help. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. MIL insists on apologizing to me almost 4 years later. Am I overreacting? I feel like I am the crazy one. My MIL and I haven't spoken in almost 4 years. I feel the reason I went NC is needed. She was very bad at other times, but I just can't see a good thing about her or even want to move forward or forgive and forget like she insists on after what happened. A couple months after my FAL, MIL's ex-husband, passed away in 2019, I got a call from MIL. Seeing as we never really got along, I let it go to voicemail. It was her screeching at me about the state of my home, how one of my BILs was concerned that we had dirty laundry and dishes, a little messy, but we were both working extra hours and I hadn't been home other than for a quick couple-hour nap between jobs/school pickup for DD for almost 2 weeks, with DH working 12 hours per day 7 days a week. How she was going to get my DD, my husband's stepdaughter, taken from me and try to get us all evicted, her son included, from our home if I didn't leave DH, and ranted about how her son will always choose her as I'm just a wife and easily replaced. She has claimed ever since that I lied about what she said, says I need to delete the voicemail from her and get over myself. DH has caught her lying or justifying what she said several times. DH has been either NC or LC since then, and other than seeing her at my sales wedding this year, I've maintained NC and kept my DD away because I don't feel safe letting her go with DH to see his family anymore. We had my DS earlier this year and kept it pretty quiet due to how high stress my first pregnancy was. DH wanted to tell his family after the birth. DS was born, and less than 24 hours later we found out a nurse at the hospital violated HIPAA and told MIL. Reporting did nothing as we had no name to report. She doesn't care that HIPAA was broken, only that DH didn't tell her we were having a baby. DH was taking DD to school when MIL called to let him know she knew and wanting to meet her first grandbaby. My DD struggled after overhearing MIL say that it's still something that hurts her. Her and I seem to be the only people that get excluded, and while it doesn't hurt me, it devastates her. We hope she had misspoken, however this has happened during several conversations DH has had with her since then, and she gets upset when DH corrects her that we have 2 children. She still insists her and I apologize to each other to move on. DH is behind me in whatever I choose to do. Am I crazy to want to stay and see? I had abusive parents, so sometimes I feel like I'm overreacting and MIL did nothing wrong/MIL is right that I'm the problem, and if I wasn't around everything would be fine. I have never told him he couldn't see his family, but don't want to go and struggle with the idea of my kids possibly going. Let's make this abundantly clear. What she said is a relationship terminating sentence. She terminated your relationship when she threatened to have your children moved from your care and your husband's care. Not only that, but all future children would have been under an umbrella of suspicion as well, which includes a new baby. The trouble she was threatening to stir would have had an impact on you and all current and future children. She terminated your relationship. That's the end of it. What she could do, if she wants to maintain a relationship with your husband, is to provide the name of the person that breached your privacy at the hospital. If she wants to show that she genuinely respects you both as adults, then she can do this. It is unlikely that she will never forgive the name of this person, but it's just basically holding her to the same standard but she's expecting from you. She threatened to have your child taken away from you and make you homeless. For no reason other than to let you know how worthless you are in her eyes. That right there is the hill she died on. Anyone that does something that repugnant deserves nothing but eternal silence. Put a copy of that voicemail on YouTube. Immediately send the link to everyone that questions you. Put a copy of that voicemail on YouTube. I like the way you think. Full scorched earth, none of MIL's forgive and forget. She has proven that she doesn't consider DD to be her grandchild. And now, the only reason she is contacting you is because there's a new baby, one she sees as being a part of her through your DH. The only reason she's wanting to apologize and rug sweep now is so she can get her grubby paws on your baby. Keep the NC. She was a shitty person, so she reaps what she sows. Anytime a person threatens to take your child, children, or have them taken away, they become persona non grata in my books, and there is no coming back from that. No apology, no contact with DS. Don't do it. Protect yourself and your kids. Threatening to have DD taken away? No apology would make up for that, and besides, she is rug sweeping, she doesn't care. Oh well, sucks to be her then. I would wash my hands of her and tell DH that she doesn't control you, she doesn't get to insist you do anything. I would not allow her access to DS. She is poison and should not be rewarded just because she insists. As for the break in confidentiality from the hospital, you have put in a complaint? So the fact is she is willfully hurting a child. No, you're not wrong. Keep that VM. Listen anytime you feel like you need a reminder. That is not normal MIL crap. Stay NC. It's okay to value yourself. I'm definitely keeping it even though it's on an old phone. I transferred it to my computer, I believe, to have a copy there. When my DH told me about their conversation where he told her that he knew what was said in the voicemail and that we still have it, she got very offended. She insisted that he needed to delete that voicemail and we needed to move on and get past this. You can't protect your children if you don't protect yourself. She's shown you who she is, believe her. She threatened to have your daughter taken away and you guys evicted. That's movie villain level bad. Do not let that woman back in your life, she'll just try to break you up so her and her son can play happy family with your child. How often is fair? Hi there, first time poster. And I just joined. So I will keep this short. I am a newly stay-at-home mom. My in-laws crossed some boundaries when I first had our baby, my husband took their side. Ever since then I have had a wall up with my in-laws. My MIL has gone through a lot the last few years, but she is really difficult to be around. She doesn't stop talking, only talks about random financial things or coupons, and everyone ignores her and she just looks at me. They came over last weekend and she talked for 6 hours straight while my husband and Afael watched football. I was exhausted and it makes it hard to be the fun, happy mom I like to be to my daughter. My husband just doesn't quite understand. The day after I gave birth, they were trying to convince him to have them come over at 8 a.m. BC. His sister, who didn't contact me once during my pregnancy, was leaving to go camping and wanted to meet the baby. I had just told them the night before I had a traumatic birth and was having a hard time with my OCD and PPD. His dad kept calling him. I just said I wasn't ready. I also told everyone that I would probably need some time after the baby was born to settle in. I struggled a lot with PPD and I have really bad, real OCD and had to go back on my medication and go to therapy. My in-laws are aware of all of that. My mom and dad watch our daughter twice a week while I go to therapy, and then they spend the remainder of the day with her like 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. I usually spend time getting our new house organized and just working on my mental health, which got really bad the previous year. My husband gets really mad that we don't spend enough time with his parents. But it's mentally exhausting. My mother-in-law also just doesn't realize that she did and says things that make me uncomfortable. My husband also has issues setting boundaries. He wants them to come once a week. I dread it. But then if my family wants to do something, he gets hurt. My husband is very close to my family and chooses to vacation with my dad often. He has a close relationship with them. He asks me why I won't just put up with his mom so he can't hang out with his dad. I'm trying to be fair, but I also feel like I have to just spend the whole day listening to my MIL talk, and it's a lot when I barely get any time for myself, being a new mom. I also just want to be a family sometimes on the weekend. What do I do? How do I be fair? My mother-in-law will also talk to my husband in a baby voice or say odd comments about my baby. She also does not listen if you ask her to not do something. She acts like she doesn't hear you. I'm not sure what to do. A. Fair is a weather report. B. He asks me why I won't just put up with his mom so he can't hang out with his dad. Look, this is his mom, and he doesn't want to spend time with her. He wants to offload handling her onto you, so he can do manly things with his dad. This doesn't sound fair/equitable to me. He gets to deal with her, sorry dude. Yeah, he doesn't get to use you as his meat shield. If he wants to spend time with FIL, then he has to schedule it separately to both of them visiting. He asks me why I won't just put up with his mom so he can't hang out with his dad. Said to DH, why won't you put up with your mom so you can hang out with your dad? Your usage of the phrase put up with suggests you know exactly why I don't want to be around her, so why even bother asking why I won't do it? You sound kinda hypocritical right now. Is your husband a child? Spend time with my terribly annoying mother that even I dislike, so I can spend time with my dad. Put your foot down. It is his family. His problem. Tell him you won't entertain her for him anymore and you refuse to spend time with her. He is using you as a meat shield. My boyfriend did the same thing. He deep down dislikes his mother's presence and used me as a meat shielder. We went to visit her and I would be left alone with her in one room while he would spend 40 minutes in the bathroom or straight up went to lay down in bed and watch TV. The moment I told him he is alone in it, he is free to visit his mom even every weekend, but I won't. Guess what? He visited her only 4 times in the whole year. And from a whole day visits it went down to 2 hours. If he's throwing the word fair about, ask him how is it fair for him to marry into great in-laws that he enjoys spending time with, versus you're marrying into in-laws that even their own son wants to avoid one of them totally. If fair is time spent with the baby, then let him totally entertain and spend time with his parents and the baby while you go elsewhere and get some me time. Let him endure 6 hours of inane incessant prattle. His mom, his burden. What he wants is for you to be a meat shield between his dad, himself and MIL. He wants you to be a buffer zone so they can relax and have a good time. I'd roll all the baby stuff in front of the TV and say see you later. I bet you could actually use a weekly break. Yoga? Running? Bicycling? Take a hobby class? Visit friends, family? Something, anything. Let them have their equal time without you being the buffer. Visit for an hour and then leave them to their own devices. Why do you have to put up with MIL so your husband can hang out with his dad? If he wants to see them so much, he can hang out with her. She sounds annoying. Exactly my thoughts. Opie shouldn't have to hold his hand to go and see his own parents. To the description sounds as if as your husband is using you as a meat shield against his mother so he can cover behind you an imho that is absolutely not your duty. Do I understand it right? Your husband wants you to put up with his mom so he can hang out with his father without being disturbed? Yep, that's my read of it, too. Proposed to DH, he goes to his parents half the time, and when MIL does come over, have her read to LO or invoke quiet time when you play calming music to LO and yourself. Tell MIL you need some rest when LO does and go to your bedroom. As an introvert, I can easily get exhausted being around talkers. This. It isn't so bad for him because he spends the day watching football with his dad while you and the baby entertain mom. It's a great deal for him and him alone. Okay, pettiness alert coming in. DH says he wants your family to hang out with his parents. Even though you know what he really means is for you to keep his mother occupied and entertained so he can relax with his dad, pretend you don't. DH wants you all to hang out together. The activity he apparently wants to do during these weekly visits is watch football. Next weekend, be prepared. Even if you know absolutely nothing about or hate football, hang in for one weekend. You're all going to sit in the living room/den/man cave and watch football together, including baby, got to bond with dad and grandpa's favorite sports, after all. Get the snacks ahead of time, get baby an outfit for dad or grandpa's favorite team, and get one for yourself if you feel like it. Become the team's most enthusiastic cheerleader. Baby stays with you, unless you need to excuse yourself to change her, and, no, MIL, I don't need help, just relax and enjoy the game, or would you be a dear and check on the wings in the oven and pop some more popcorn while baby's being changed, or put her down for a nap, lock the bedroom door in case you doze off with her. They want dinner? Order a pizza for delivery. MIL wants to chat? She can chat with DH, you're busy watching football. If it gets to be too much, then bundle up baby quietly, and announce you're going to pick up the pizza/more snacks/diapers/whatever as you hightail it out the door before anyone can offer to come with. He asks me why I won't just put up with his mom so he can't hang out with his dad. I'm trying to be fair, but I also feel like I have to just spend the whole day listening to my MIL talk, and it's a lot when I barely get any time for myself being a new mom. Was he drunk when he said that? Put up with his mother so he can be happy? I don't think so. Have you said that back to him so that he can hear what it sounds like? My JustNoMil stole my money. I need help. So eBay posted about my mill before on here, and me and DH were saving to move out. Well, I had $800 saved up, and my JustNoMil stole it. I called the cops, they said I can't prove it, it was in cash I was taking to the bank today to deposit. I have no friends or family at this point, and me and DH needed to get the money to the apartment owner this week. I can't keep living here, I need to get my kids away from them, and I don't know what I can even do now. DH gave the landlord the other half we saved for the deposit, but she said without first months her hands are tied and we are trapped here. Does anyone know where I can get $800? I'm still a sum, so I can't get a loan, and my husband's credit is garbage because of his parents. Long story, can clarify if needed. If she admitted to you that she took $800, withhold your rent. Tell her she can consider the $800 early rent payment and don't pay next month's rent. Use the $1,300 towards the new place. Even if she threatens to evict you, it takes a long time to make that happen, and by the time she gets the legality of evicting you sorted out, you'll be gone. Just my 2 cents. Since she feels justified, send her a long text telling her how you can't believe she stole from you. She had no right. She's entitled and disgusting. That should bait her into admitting it, in writing, to defend herself. Then you have proof. If not for the police, for small claims court. She has to evict you formally to kick you out. Hopefully enough time to come up with some cash and a plan. I've seen a couple of posts and I don't know if this is a possibility. Don't pay the rent for this month and use that to get out instead? You pay way more than is necessary, and it is pretty clear they are making you guys pay it so you can't save up to get out. You guys are their cash cow, making their lives easier. I really hope you can sort things out. Good luck. I agree with this. You've said their rent is only $800? Well, looks like they already took it from you. It's less than 1 month's rent at your ILs. Hold back the $800 and get out. I wouldn't keep any more money in the house or any access to it and any other valuables you have. Alternatively, never be without it on your person. Get a waterproof bag like this one. Then you can take it in the shower with you as well. Sounds nuts, but your safe place for the money wasn't enough, so get creative. Where do you live? Some areas/states are one-party consent states, which means that you can legally voice record someone without their knowledge or consent. If you can get your MIL admitting that she stole the money on a voice recording, there's your proof. Look into some of the faith-based organizations in your area. If you are in the US, you can see if public assistance has something called a one-shot deal. There are also subreddits here that will lend money. If you live in the States, reach out to various county offices. Sometimes there are programs specifically for helping with a one-time expense that involves housing, heating, etc. You might also contact local churches. They usually know about local charities and can help point you in the right direction. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.